What's up, YouTube? It's NG, the NeonX, and I'm back. I'm currently on my way to work, but I just wanted to discuss this Samsung. Well, discuss what Samsung has released this week. I know I haven't been online for a while. I haven't posted any videos in a while. It's really due to this new work schedule that I have, and it's just kicking my ass. You know, the time I used to have to edit these things has been cut down significantly. So though I have all kinds of footage that I would love to share and discuss, I just don't have the time. Time was my enemy before, even more so now. But with that explained, you know, sort of an apology, let's talk about Unpacked.
Now everybody scream enough respect to the X. Enough respect given.
Now, I did have a chance to go to the Samsung store the day of Unpacked, and I got some hands-on footage of all of these new devices. The watch, the headphones, the earbuds, the flips, the folds, not the ring, though they did have the ring measurements that they're going to use, these little plastic rings that pretty much mimic the look and feel of the Galaxy ring, even down to the little bumps on the inside there where the sensors are. But yeah, so I didn't get to see everything. I am trying to put together a video on that initial experience. But since that time, I've watched a bunch of other videos. I've read some other articles, and I would like to at least address some of the concerns that a lot of people have, even myself, with these updated and new devices. First, let me start with the Galaxy Fold 6. It looks better than the Fold 5 and all other previous folds. They squared everything off, and it does work well. The outer screen looks to be a little bigger than before. I mean, the inner screen pretty much looks the same to me, but I haven't owned a Galaxy Fold since the Fold 3. So maybe there's a change there, and I just don't see it. One of the things that did stand out to me is the edges. The phone is sharp. To the point when I held it, it did poke my palm. I felt it, you know, and I was surprised. Like, oh wow, this is actually a sharp edge. It's very reminiscent of the S24, but I think even a bit more so. So whether you like round edges or not, that might determine how you take this news. But the phone is very squared off, and it is very sharp, or sharp enough that it is noticeable. The price went up $100 compared to last year. Personally, I don't see the $100 difference in the devices. I guess it's all internal, you know, new chipset. I understand the camera is more or less the same. You know, they made the screen brighter, a little bigger, things like that. But I don't know if that warrants the $100 upcharge this year over last, especially with the fact that now that there is one this year, you could probably get the last one for, I won't say significantly less, but a more reasonable price. I wouldn't even dare say affordable, because these phones are not affordable. They're still a pretty penny, but at least you get the Fold 5, which is not much from the Fold 6, for a more palpable price tag. moving on with the Flip 6, I honestly do not see much of a difference there. There's a little ring around the cameras on the outside. Again, the chipset, the internal RAM, and storage, it's all been upgraded. And I guess that's a good thing. What would have been better is if they were able to do this upgrade while keeping it at the same price point as last year. Again, it's been $100. I don't partly think it's worth the update. My wife does have a Flip 5. She doesn't use it much, but a few times I have seen her use it, or I've used it myself. When I compare the two, I don't really see that big of a difference with the two. If you have a 5, you definitely don't need a 6. If you have the 4, I guess you get a 6. For both of these devices, you have some pretty good trade deals. So if you have a relatively new device, you can get a decent chunk off of the full price of these newer ones. You can get a Flip 6 for like $300, and you can get a full 6 for around $500 if you have the right device to trade in. Mostly something released within the last year or two. I know if I were to trade in my S24, I would be able to get a full 6 for $900 off, which would mean I'd be paying $1,000 for it. And if I really did want a folding device like that, it would be a pretty good deal because it's a very powerful device in its own right. But the colors of the devices, or of the folds and the Flip, don't stand out as much as they did with the S24. They are very pastel. I like what iPhone did with their recent phones and like their Easter colors and all that. Very pastel colors this year. I always like the green. There's the sky blue. There's a peach in there. I thought that was nice. The online colors, or the online exclusive colors, don't stand out as much either. Especially with the fold, there's only 2, and the online colors are really black and white. You would think that the black and white would be your regular color, and maybe like a purple. Just throwing that out there, or mother of pearl. So a more interesting color would be the online exclusive to get people to flock to your site. But no, the online exclusive colors for the Fold 6 are white and black. Now, granted, the black has a nice little pattern on it. It does look nice. But it's not something that make you want to say, I really do want this color on my phone. I want to be that unique guy that went online and got the exclusive color, not just the bland regular colors. Now, it's funny, the regular colors are almost more interesting than the online colors, because with the regular, they have this nice little silverish, they have another dark color, I don't remember. Oh, they have this blue, and I almost thought the blue was a purple. It's a very nice dark blue. And then they have pink. Not a dark, but a very soft pink. And the phone does look nice in this shade. I'm like, wow, that is not a bad color. Personally, I would go with the blue or the exclusive black with the pattern, but I wouldn't be mad if somehow I end up with the pink of it. They look really nice with the Fold 6. The Flips, I know somewhere there I did see the exclusive color. They did a lot more than the Fold. I just don't really remember them all. Like, my interest wasn't really in the Flip 6 because it was so similar to the Flip 5. I just didn't spend much time with it. Now, the devices that did pique my interest were the Galaxy Ring and the Buds Pro and Buds Pro 3 and Buds 3. Now, we all saw the leaks and the rumors weeks ago, months ago, whenever you first saw them. For me, it was maybe a month or two ago. I started to see, CADs of the devices and what people were saying they look like. And when I saw the iPhone-like design, the AirPod-like design, I really hope it was not true. I'm not the biggest fan of AirPods. I've said that many times. I mean, they don't look good, they don't feel good, they don't sound particularly good. Well, the AirPods Pro, although they sound alright, but still not something I would ever recommend. So when I saw that Samsung was leaning towards that direction, I hope that there was just some kind of joke. But apparently it is not. The new buds do resemble AirPods. Now, I have other earbuds that have stems. I had two LG buds. I don't know what they don't have, your typical names. And my Echo buds. They all have stems. And for what they are, they work. And somehow these buds with stems look and feel better than the AirPods. They don't bother me. They don't weigh my ear down. They don't slip out of my ear. So it's something with how Apple designs their earbuds compared to how others do. That just doesn't work for my ears. Now, these Samsung ones, they've gone in a similar direction. You can see how they kind of added stems, or as they call it, blades, to their earbuds. They're not rounded like Apple's earbuds. They're angled like a triangle, and each side has a unique color, so you know which is left, which is right. So, in all honesty, when you look at the buds, you should tell which is what earbud, whatever else. The regular buds 3 are just a hard plastic like what's in your ear. There's no tip. You can just hang there, and for all intent and purpose, they are the sequel to Buds Live. Buds Live were what I call the beams. I love that design. It was an open ear design, nothing plugged into your ear. They just kind of sat in the crevice of the ear. They looked good, they looked unique, and they sounded pretty good. I really did like those. I still have them. I don't wear them nearly as much, but I like knowing that I have a part of Samsung's design history. Now, the Buds 3 are, like I said, these sequel to those, in fact that they also just kind of just rest in your ear. It's not pushed in. There's no tip to go into the ear canal. They kind of just hang there. I don't know what they sound like as of yet. I assume that they sound better than the Buds Live, but they've had how many years of innovation to try to make these things sound as good as they possibly can. Now, these things look extremely like AirPods, especially if you happen to get the white one, where the mics are placed, where the speakers are placed. It's all very AirPod-esque. And by that, it's a hard plastic, again, very AirPod-like. I don't know who approved this design. I don't know if it really is that much better than what they've been doing before. Maybe it is. Maybe I'll try these and they just work better for me in comparison to AirPods. Because the AirPod is the only other earbud like that I've ever tried. So, and they didn't work for me at all. I actually gave them back the same day. That's how bothered I was by them. But I guess time will tell. The case of these is very much like an AirPod case, the long case with the flipped top, or with the flipped cover at the top. With this case, it is transparent. That's kind of cool. It has a Bluetooth screen button at the bottom of it, USB-C wireless charging. All the basic functionality of a case, with again the added design of a clear top. Does that really do anything for it? No. but it's cool that it helps set it apart from the AirPods because they really look like AirPods even down to. Now, the Buds 3 Pro look very much like AirPod Pros, and I think that's where a lot of the dissent is coming from. They can have to look so similar, but I digress. These do have a silicone tip to push it in your ear, so just by that alone you get more richer bass, better sound. The A and C will work that much better because it really trying to fit in that ear canal, and with A and C turn on, which you can drown out most incoming noise. They always mention sirens and all of that. I don't know how well it works, but they're saying that it does it very well. The system has an LED on it, whereas with the regular Buds 3 it does not. They say that the LED can tell you what mode the earbud is in. I guess that's something cool. When it's being charged, when you put it in, the lights will turn on to let you know. I don't know if it is an indication of how much power the buds have. Maybe the light raises as they get fully charged. That would be a nice little perk. Not necessary, but every little bit helps. I would hope that the light can change color. But I don't care for lights on my buds at all. The little tickle light really says you are a machine. I always hated when Bluetooth earbuds first, not earbuds, but Bluetooth earpieces came out all those years ago. And the background were singular ear and would have a blue light just blinking or the power goes like very annoying. I never liked it. So I was always quite happy when, these earbud makers would make a pair and there was no light on them. Some still had the little lights, but I never got one of those. I never liked those. Samsung never had that, and I was always happy for it. These Buds Pro 3 do have it, and to me that is a negative unless it has some kind of functionality to it that is actually useful. But if it doesn't have any useful functionality, at least give me the ability to turn the light off. Because I personally wouldn't need it or want it. From what I've read, they are the best sounding Galaxy Buds to date. And I won't argue with that because I have noticed the change from as a new one comes out. Certain things do sound better. Not that the previous version sound bad, just you hear things more clearly. Bass might be rich, the way they really work on these things. Sound separation might be better, things along those lines. So I hear that these are the best sounding ones, but again, every year when something new comes out, you would expect them to say this is the best of whatever it is, because it is the newest one. How would they look if they said, oh, here is the new whatever, but last year's one is still better. We just brought out this because we could. That's not going to sell any units. So as much as the design doesn't sit well with me, again, I'm not a fan of the AirPod design, and these are very, very much like AirPods, more so than all the buds I have that have a stem. I do hope that they at least fulfill the promise of sounding better and feeling better and being the best Galaxy Buds thus far. If they do all of that, I can look past the design and just enjoy them for what they are, a good sounding pair of earbuds. Now, the Galaxy Watch the Galaxy Watch 7. Of course, the regular Galaxy Watch 7 looks like the 6 and the 5 and all those before it, and it's a great design. I think it's very sleek. No argument from me. They have no reason to change it at all. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as they say. They changed the chipset inside. It's more power efficient. It's faster. Overall, more sensors have been built in for more accurate fitness tracking and things along those lines. So it's a watch up, or it's the kind of watch update you would expect. Everything is on the inside, but that's what you want, because you want your watch to be a simple thing that you wear. It tells you your information, and you go about your day. They don't need to change the entire look of it every year. They just need to make what it does that much better than the year before, because that's all we want, things to be better. Now, aside from the Watch 7, they release, as they do every year, a unique version of the Watch 7. This year, we call it the Galaxy Watch Ultra. Or is it Ultimate? No, Ultra. Now, the naming scheme works simply because they have your Samsung Ultra phones, you have your Ultra tablets, and they are from every metric, Ultra versions of the non-Ultra versions. They have they just have more battery, bigger screen, more they can do, and so they get that Ultra name. Now, the Galaxy Watch Ultra, like the Buds 3 Pro, is a blatant ripoff of the Apple Watch Ultra. You see how they copied Apple's design. It's like they weren't even trying to hide it. It has a square shape, has an action button, and even advertising with the orange watch band that the Apple Watch Ultra is known for. Now, all this wouldn't bother me if I felt the watch, lived up to its Ultra name, which to me, just based on what I've read, what I've seen, because I have laid hands on this thing, it does not. It has a 590 milliamp battery, or 590 amp, I don't know how they say it, which is the same as the Watch 5 Pro. So, not a Ultra battery, but a Pro battery. I thought it had the rotating bezel from the Watch 6 Classic and the Watch 4 Classic and all of that. But when I got my hands on, the bezel did not turn. I thought maybe it was because it was a dummy model and not everything was, working, or not everything was, as it would be on the real thing. But no, I later learned that though they have the bezel look, they just have the rounded, raised edge, it doesn't turn. It's the touch rotating bezel from the Watch 5 Pro. I'm not a fan of that touch. The regular Watch 7 and 6 and all that they have, where you just rotate your finger around the screen if you so choose, and you'll glide through the screens and the options and all that. It does work, kinda. It's just not very accurate. It's kind of hard to stop where you want to stop. because sometimes it's very sensitive. This one does have a circular bezel on its squared frame, and I swore that it was a rotating bezel. It is not. So that was disheartening. The battery, yes, you will get your, what they claim, 100 hours in certain conditions, roughly 2 to 3 days with regular use. Now, I can vouch for at least that aspect with that battery, the same battery as the Pro. I have gone, here goes my Pro here, I have gone close to 48 hours straight. And that's not me being nice about, that's just me doing what I do, going to the gym, so some exercise tracking, answering some calls, some messages, playing music, things like that. Just regular use of, or how I use it. And it has gone, I think, like 42, 43 hours. And that's me being honest. So I have no doubt that the Watch Ultra could do the same. But that's not good enough. Because at that price point, almost $700, and that name, you would think that everything of that watch would be ultra spec. If I want a 590 amp battery, I'll go with a Watch 5 Pro. That one should have maybe a 6 and change, even though 700 is just a crazy battery, especially in that large chassis that it has, that would last me a week. That's ultra spec. There's no rotating bezel, fine, but you do have a crown on the side. Again, very much like the Apple Watch or the Pixel Watch. But the thing is, when you rotate that crown, nothing happens. That's questionable. It's a button by itself, and that's great. You know, you can set a singular action with it, but that's all. I'm not able to scroll through menus or options by rotating that crown. With the Pixel Watch and with the Apple Watch, you can. So if I like to just fidget with things, like when I'm wearing my Watch 6 Classic, I spin the bezel just to spin the bezel. Sometimes you just need something for your hands to do. So that doesn't say that you can't spin the crown on this thing. But the fact that there's no actual functionality in it, I think is a missed opportunity. So I was shocked at that as well. Now, I don't know. I saw it. I won't lie to you. I ordered it because I do want to compare it to my other two. See, is this really worth the jump in price and that name? Because right now you can get a Watch 5 Pro for around $100. If you want long-lasting battery on your smartwatch, it's right there in last year's model. What else does the Watch 7 Ultra have to offer that makes you think that that price tag is reasonable? Now, I get if you are an extreme person. Oh my God, you're so extreme. Yes, the chassis of it is built rugged. I am sure that, you know, it can take a lot more brutality than most of these other watches can. And if that's the kind of watch you're looking for, you know what? I guess it's a viable option. Well, I have heard that companies like Garmin and all of that have very similar watches with better endurance and better battery too. So the Watch Ultra might not be the ideal device if that's what you're looking for. aside from that, I've read about the bands. It's a unique band connection, so you will be stuck with only bands that Samsung offers if you want to change the band that the watch comes with. Now, to me, that's not neither here or there. That's not necessarily a bad thing. The Google Pixel Watch does the same thing, and there's a whole thing about those bands. Not that you couldn't put on whatever band you want, but the system to remove them was so different at the time. People were up in arms to an extent about it. But they got over it, and third parties began to come out with much more affordable bands. So I'm sure the same thing will happen here. So that unique lug system that Samsung has, if it can keep the frame on the band through all these extreme activities they expect those who buy the watch to do, more power to them. You won't lose your watch when you go on that 100-meter dive or run across the Sahara, whatever extreme sport or activity you do. Anywho, I'm at work. Time to start the day. It's a long run, so I need to get on my way. So with that said, my name is NG, the NeoNex, and just, going on a rant about what I've seen, my thoughts, and all of that on what Samsung has revealed this week. This is what I'm into.